Hello, it's me, Recky, and welcome back to another military reaction. We're gonna get our hands a bit dirty by checking out the Nimitz class U.S. Navy's 8.5 billion aircraft carrier. And if you are familiar with Recky and his reactions, we have seen quite a few videos regarding aircraft carriers, but I want to dig deeper because I think, and you gotta correct me if I'm wrong, or we're gonna get information in the video if the Nimitz class is the biggest one. I think so. I'm gonna get that from the video. If not, help me out. If you want to check out the video we are gonna watch, it's from the U.S. Military News channel. You find both the link for U.S. Military News and of course this video we're watching available in the description. Go there and give them support that they so much deserve. If you do enjoy the content you're currently watching, don't forget to smack the like and of course hit that subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. And let's continue before she meows again. Thank you so much to the channel members and the patrons. Thank you so much. Thank you. A big shout out to the Supreme Tier donators over by Patreon and of course channel membership. God bless. Personal shout outs to the ultimate supporters, only available on Patreon. Deja, Walt, Ronnie, Dwayne, Tammy, Kevin, Dana, Troy, Sarah, Robert, Matt, Tracy, and Lon. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much and God bless. If you want to join them, click join to become a member or check out the coolest link pinned on top of all the comments. That's it. Let's do this.
Meet the Nimitz-class aircraft carrier, U.S. Navy's $8.5 billion beast.
It's got a good sign that I already have goosebumps and the video has been on for about 14 seconds. I think that's pretty good.
The aircraft carriers continue to be the centerpiece of the forces necessary for operating forward. In times of crisis, the first question leaders ask is, where are the carriers? Often, the presence of an aircraft carrier has deterred potential adversaries from striking against U.S. interests. Aircraft carriers support and operate aircraft that engage in attacks on airborne, afloat, and ashore targets which threaten the free use of the sea. They also participate in sustained power projection operations in support of U.S. and coalition forces. The aircraft carrier and its strike group also engage in maritime security operations to interdict threats to merchant shipping and prevent the use of the seas for terrorism and piracy. Aircraft carriers also provide unique...
One thing I do like about this, I'm going to say love, is that the aircraft carrier has so many security around when it comes to the other battleships, and I think that's really cool to see. I'm getting goosebumps like crazy.
Unique capabilities for disaster response and humanitarian assistance. The Nimitz-class aircraft carrier consists of 10 carriers serving as the ultimate symbol of the United States superpower status. These formidable vessels stand as true behemoths, representing unparalleled weapons platforms that outshine all their nearest rivals. The aircraft carriers in this class are the USS Nimitz, USS Dwight D. Eisenhower, USS Carl Vinson, USS Theodore Roosevelt, USS Abraham Lincoln, USS George Washington, USS John C. Stennis, USS Harry S. Truman, USS Ronald Reagan, and USS George H.W. Bush.
Frickin' hell! How many was that? And they're same... I see there's a CVN code now, CVN 77, CVN 77, 76, 78, was it? I'm gonna go back, because I really want to do this. So basically all about the size.
That outshine all their nearest rivals. The aircraft carriers in this class are the USS Nimitz.
Okay, so this is the Nimitz, and that's a CVN 68.
USS...
And the Dwight D. Eisenhower is a CVN 69.
Dwight D. Eisenhower, USS Carl Vinson,
is a CVN 70. So the lower, the bigger.
USS Theodore Roosevelt,
Yeah, I gotta be.
USS Abraham Lincoln,
Yeah.
USS George Washington,
Yep.
USS John C. Stennis, USS Harry S. Truman, USS Ronald Reagan, and USS George H.W. Bush.
That looks freaking big anyway, though. Oh, you guys, help me out with the CVN. Am I correct? CVN number, the lower it is on the 70s, the bigger it is? That's what I'm thinking. Let me know if I'm wrong.
The lead ship of the U.S. class, USS Nimitz, nicknamed Old Salt, was commissioned in May 1975.
Dear Lord.
Named after Admiral Chester Nimitz, who led the U.S. Navy through World War II. And the last of the class, USS George H.W. Bush, was commissioned in January 2009. At 1,092 feet, the Nimitz-class supercarriers are more than 3 times the length of a football field. And with a crew complement of over 5,000 members, they're essentially floating cities. All the ships of the class are powered by 2 A4W nuclear reactors housed in separate compartments. The reactors produce heat through nuclear fission, which heats water to produce steam. These are then passed through 4 turbines, which are then shared by the 2 reactors. A gearbox transmits power to 4 propeller shafts, producing a maximum speed of over 30 knots and a maximum power of 260,000 brake horsepower.
Holy shit.
The turbines power the 4 bronze propellers, each with a diameter of 25 feet and a weight of 66,000 pounds. Behind these are the 2 rudders, which are 29 feet high and 22 feet long. As a result of nuclear power, the ships are capable of operating continuously for over 20 years without refueling and are predicted to have a service life of over 50 years. These warships, which have a displacement of 104,000 tons, were all built by Huntington Ingalls Industries Newport News Shipbuilding based in Virginia at a unit cost of approximately $8.5 billion.
Vill du byta till en karriär där du kan jobba på distans?
Vi har utbildat ett 30-tal studenter som har lyckats byta till ett jobb i tech utan flera år i skolbänken. De gick från sälja...
Carrier Air Wing. Of course, the real strength of a carrier lies in its air wing. During the Cold War, carrier air wings were larger than today's. In the 1980s, a typical carrier air wing consisted of 2 squadrons of 12 F-14 Tomcat air superiority fighters, 2 squadrons of 12 FA-18 Hornet multi-role fighters, 1 squadron of 10 A-6 Intruder attack bombers, 1 squadron of 4 to 6 E-2 Hawkeye airborne early warning and control planes, 10 3A Viking anti-submarine planes, 1 squadron of 4 EA-6.
That was a new the S-3A Viking. I never heard of that aircraft before. It was
10 3A Viking anti-submarine planes.
Anti-submarine. I think I gotta... Is that worth checking out? Let me know.
1 squadron of 4 EA-6B Prowler electronic warfare planes, and a squadron of 6 SH-3 anti-submarine helicopters. With slight variations from carrier to carrier and cruise to cruise, the average Nimitz-class carrier during the Cold War carried between 85 to 90 aircraft. Today, the carrier air wing looks quite different. Its composition is designed to enable broad striking power hundreds of miles from the carrier's position, while also providing defense in depth for the battle group through the early warning and detection of airborne, surface, and subsurface targets. The current U.S. Navy Carrier Air Wing comprises 4 strike fighter squadrons, each with 10 or 12 FA-18 EF Super Hornets, or 3 Super Hornet squadrons and 1 10-aircraft squadron of F-35C Lightning IIs, totaling over 40 strike fighters. The Air Wing also includes 1 electronic attack squadron, which is composed of 7 EA-18G Growlers. Additionally, there's 1 Carrier Airborne Early Warning Squadron equipped with 4 E-2C Hawkeyes or 5 E-2D Advanced Hawkeyes. The Air Wing further includes 1 Helicopter Sea Combat Squadron with 8 MH-60S Seahawks and 1 Helicopter Maritime Strike Squadron with 11 MH-60R Seahawks, with 3 to 5 of them typically based in detachments on other ships of the Carrier Strike Group. A Fleet Logistics Support Squadron detachment comprised of 2 C-2A Greyhounds is also part of the Air Wing.
Okay.
In 2021, the new CMV-22B Osprey from the newly established Fleet Logistics Multi-Mission Squadron detachments began to replace the C-2A Greyhounds. Nimitz defensive systems. In addition to the aircraft they carry, Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are armed with various sophisticated weapon systems.
That scared the shit out of me.
Aircraft they carry, Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are armed with various sophisticated weapon systems. Among these are 2 or 3 Mark 29 guided missile launching systems. Each of these systems is capable of launching either RIM-162 evolved Sea Sparrow missiles or RIM-7 Sea Sparrow missiles. Additionally, Nimitz-class carriers are equipped with 3 or 4 20mm Phalanx 6-barreled Mark 15 close-in weapon system (CWIS) installations. These automated gun systems are designed to engage and destroy close-in threats with a remarkable rate of fire of 3,000 rounds per minute. They're essential components of the carrier's defense mechanism, ensuring rapid and effective responses to incoming threats. The carriers also feature 2 Mark 49 guided missile launching systems, with each capable of launching RIM-116 rolling airframe missiles. The RAM is a quick reaction fire and forget missile system used for close-in defense against anti-ship missiles. Furthermore, the carriers are equipped with Mark 38 25mm machine gun systems, which provide additional close-in defense and are used for engaging surface threats, especially enemy swimmers and fast surface craft. Nimitz-class carrier strike group. When an aircraft carrier deploys, it takes a carrier strike group, CSG, made up of several other warships and supply vessels that allow the operation to be carried out. The armament of the Nimitz class is made up only of short-range defensive weapons used as a last line of defense against enemy missiles and aircraft. As with all surface ships, an aircraft carrier is particularly vulnerable to attack from below, specifically from submarines. An aircraft carrier is a very expensive, hard-to-replace, and strategically valuable asset, and therefore it logically has immense value as a target. Due to their high value as targets and vulnerability, aircraft carriers are always accompanied by at least 1 submarine for protection. The other vessels in the strike group offer additional capabilities, such as long-range Tomahawk missiles or the Aegis combat system, and provide defense against potential threats. A typical strike group may consist of the following. In addition to an aircraft carrier, up to 6 surface combatants, including guided missile cruisers and guided missile destroyers, primarily used for anti-aircraft warfare and anti-submarine warfare, as well as frigates warship prior to their retirement from the United States.
And this is one of the best pictures ever. Look at that. It's like Big Brother leading the kids. And the kids are really fierce. I love it.
Navy service. When the Navy commissions a new Constellation-class frigate, they'll once again accompany carrier strike groups. Also part of the group are 1 or 2 attack submarines for the purpose of locating and neutralizing hostile surface ships and submarines, as well as an ammunition, oiler, and supply ship provided by Military Sealift Command to offer logistical support. The numbers and types of vessels comprising each strike group can vary from group to group based on deployments, missions, and availability. The end of an era. Pre-planning for the deactivation of the USS Nimitz, currently the United States' oldest active aircraft carrier, is beginning. Nimitz-class carriers were initially designed to have a 50-year service life. At the end of their service life, ships will be decommissioned. This process will first take place on Nimitz and is estimated to cost from $750 to $900 million. This compares with an estimated $53 million for a conventionally powered carrier. Most of the difference in cost is attributed to the deactivation of the nuclear power plants and the safe removal of radioactive material and other contaminated equipment.
So I can see is this like a perimeter going around it? So you cannot get any closer than that with other vessels? It's probably explaining itself, and I'm probably explaining exactly what, but it looks really cool.
According to the schedules outlined in the Navy's long-range shipbuilding plan, submitted to the U.S. Congress in March 2023, it now appears that the USS Nimitz will be retired in 2026. Previously, reports indicated that the offloading process would begin in 2025, with the official inactivation of the vessel scheduled for 2027. Following the retirement of the USS Nimitz, the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower is expected to retire the following year. Other Nimitz-class aircraft carriers are also waiting for their turn to be retired. Farewell. The Navy plans to replace the Nimitz-class carriers with the Gerald R. Ford-class carriers on a one-for-one basis over the next 3 decades.
Yeah. So the Ford is going to take over, but you got to help me again. I watched so many. The Ford is already in, right? The Ford class? I think so, yeah. I think we talked about this on the previous videos when we did reactions to the Gerald Ford. The Nimitz class is, I don't know why, but I really do like the taste of what Nimitz class. There's a Ford out there, and I've seen that. I'm pretty sure. Another great video from U.S. Military News. One of the channels that I have been calling go-to for getting the information and learning stuff about the U.S. Navy, etc., and weaponry and aircrafts and stuff like that. There was 2 airplanes or aircrafts that I have never heard before. There was the Viking, and there was one more that I completely forgot. So I got to rewatch it again just to make sure I have the correct ones. Let me know if you want to go. Let me know to check them out. If you did enjoy this, don't forget to smack the like and, of course, hit that subscribe. I would greatly appreciate that. Until next time, I'm Recky. You stay safe.